Hi, this is Mrs. Swan, the Davis Thayer Elementary School librarian, and I'm coming to you from my home. School has been closed for about a week and a half now due to the coronavirus outbreak, and I really miss reading to all the children at the Davis Thayer Elementary School, so I thought I'd create this video and post it so that I could at least share some story with you. So today is March 26th, 2020. And if the country wasn't self-quarantining themselves and keeping social distancing, it would be the opening day for Major League Baseball. So today I thought I'd read you this book called No Easy Way, the story of Ted Williams and the last 400 season. It's written by a man, Fred Bowen. And Ted Williams, some of you may know, was a great Red Sox player. He played for the Boston Red Sox. And in 1941, he hit 400, and he is the last baseball player to ever do that. And this is his story of that season. So I thought I'd share it with you right now. Here's a picture of Ted Williams. Hitting a baseball is the single most difficult thing to do in sports. Ted Williams said that. And Ted Williams was one of the greatest Major League hitters of all time. Ted was tall and lean with a strong, smooth swing. With just a flick of a bat, he could hit home runs as far as anyone had ever seen. And he had an eagle eye for good pitches from a bad one, so he didn't swing at bad ones. Ted grew up in San Diego, California in the 1930s. At that time, many people in the country were poor, and Ted's family was poorer than most. But in one way, Ted was lucky. From the time he was young, he knew exactly what he wanted to be. My dream was to walk down the street and have people say, "There goes Ted Williams, the greatest hitter who ever lived." Some nights, sitting alone, Ted would stare into the night sky and wish upon a shooting star to be the best hitter he could be. Ted did more than sit and wish. He played lots of baseball on California sunshine. Ted loved to play baseball, but most of all, Ted loved to hit. He raced to school every morning so that he could be the first to hit in the schoolyard pickup games. After school, he dashed around the corner to North Park playground so he could practice hitting. Oh, how Ted loved to hit. He swung the bat so many times that blisters popped up like mushrooms on his hands. Then the blisters grew into hard, ugly calluses across his palms. Ted did not mind. He knew there was no easy way to become the greatest hitter who ever lived. No easy way to do the single most difficult thing in sports, to hit a round ball with a round bat. So Ted kept working and practicing and playing. First at Horace Mann Junior High School, then for Herbert Hoover High School, then for baseball team, the Fighting Bob, American Legion Post, then for the San Diego Padres when they were just a minor league team. And then Ted moved on to another minor league team, the Minneapolis Millers. Finally, he was good enough for the major leagues. Ted was so excited, he was almost jumping out of his skin when he arrived in Boston to play for the Red Sox. He couldn't wait to grab a bat and show everyone what a great hitter he was. Ted showed them right away. He hit 31 home runs in his rookie season. Ted was so good the newspapers called him the Kid, the Splendid Splinter, and Teddy Ballgame. His batting average that year was .327. Hitting over 300 in the major leagues is good. But Ted wanted to be great. He wanted to hit 400. He knew he wouldn't get a hit every time he got up to bat, No major leaguer has ever done that. In fact, major leaguers don't even get hits half the time they're at bat. But getting a hit 40% of the time, batting .400, Ted thought he might be possible. Hitting .400 would mean even more work and more practice. Just as when he was a boy, no player practiced more than Ted. None of them hit any more balls, swung a bat at practice more than I did, he said. He swung the bat over and over until his swing was just right, strong and smooth with just a bit of an uppercut. When he wasn't batting, he squeezed rubber balls again and again to make his wrists and forearms tough and strong. Ted's batting average took off in the cool of the spring and floated above .400 during the heat of the summer. It rose to .436 in June. It fell to .402 in August. Then it went back up to .413 in September. People started to wonder if Ted might hit .400 for the whole season. No player had done that for the longest time, and it seemed impossible that any player would ever do it again. The promise of summer turned to the chill of autumn. Ted's batting average started to drift down, down, down. A point a day until it was .401 with just 3 games to play. Tired from the long season, Ted could only slap out a single hit at 4 times at bat in his next game. So now his batting average teetered on the edge at .3995. There were only 2 more games left in the season, a doubleheader against the Philadelphia Athletics. But .39955 still counts as a .400 batting average. In baseball, batting averages are rounded up, so Ted had a choice. He could sit out the last 2 games and still be a .400 hitter in the record books, or he could play and take the chance that he might not get enough hits to stay a .400 hitter. The New York Yankees and the Brooklyn Dodgers were already in the World Series. Around the country, baseball fans waited for the answer to the final question of the long season. Could Ted Williams do it? Could he hit .400? The newspaper said that maybe Ted should stay on the bench for the last 2 games and keep his magic number. Even the Red Sox manager told Ted to sit out the Sunday doubleheader so he would not risk his chance of hitting .400. But that would have been the easy way, and Ted knew there was no easy way to be the greatest hitter who ever lived. No easy way to do the single most difficult thing in sports, to hit a round ball with a round bat. No easy way to be a .400 hitter. Ted knew because this is what all his blisters and calluses and all the thousands of practice swings he had taken from North Park in San Diego until now had taught him. So Ted told his managers, no thanks. If I can't hit .400 all the way, I don't deserve it. Ted knew the last game would not be easy. On the night before, he walked the streets of Philadelphia with his friend Johnny Orlando, who worked for the team. Ted was as nervous as a cat. The 2 friends walked, talked, and stopped for ice cream. Ted thought about the pitches and the pitchers he would have to face the next day, and both men wondered whether Ted could hit .400 for a season. The last day of the season dawned cold and gray. The previous day's rain hung about the field. Still, 10,000 fans came out to see if the kid could hit .400. Ted came up to bat the first time in the 2nd inning. As he dug his left foot into the back of the batter's box, the Philadelphia Athletics catcher raised his mask and said, "Ted, our manager told us that if we let up on you, he'll run us out of baseball. I wish you all luck in the world, but we're not giving you a thing." Then the home plate umpire called timeout. He walked around Ted, bent over, and began dusting off the plate. Without looking up, he said, To hit 400, a batter has got to be loose. He has got to be loose. So Ted took a deep breath, stared out at the pitcher, and tried once again to do the single most difficult thing in baseball. In sports, to hit a round ball with a round bat and be a 400 hitter all the way. The first 2 pitches flew wide of the plate, and Ted, with his eagle eye, held back. Get a good pitch to hit, Ted told himself. A hitter can't be a 400, swinging at bad pitches. The next pitch was a good pitch to hit. Ted swung the bat as he had thousands of times before, smooth and strong, with just a bit of an uppercut. Crack. The ball rocketed into right field after ricocheting off the first baseman's mitt. Too hot to handle, the official scorer ruled. So it was a hit, a single. Ted was on his way. Ted got up to bat again in the 5th inning. Another good pitch to hit. Another smooth, strong swing. Crack. This time the ball flew so far and so fast that no one could touch it. Over the right field wall into Old Shilby Park and out onto 20th Street in Philadelphia. A home run. In the 6th inning, the Athletics brought another pitcher, a left-hander. The Athletics manager was keeping his promise. He wasn't going to make it easy for Ted, but it didn't matter. Crack. Ted smacked a line drive right up the middle for another single. In the 8th inning, crack. A hot smash down the right field line. Another hit. Ted finished the game with 4 hits and 5 times at bat. His batting average rose to .404. Now, would Ted sit down for the second game to save his record? No way. If Ted was going to hit 400, he was going to do it all the way. So Ted played. He knocked out 2 more hits and 3 turns at bat. He smashed a line drive off the loudspeaker in right field for a double. He hit it so hard that the Athletics had to get a new loudspeaker. And Ted's batting average rose to .406. That is so much better than .39955. 406. Now, that's one of the most famous numbers in baseball because it's the batting average of the last player in the major leagues to hit 400 for a whole season. It's the batting average of the last player to hit 400 all the way. Ted Williams. There was no easy way, but Ted Williams did it. And that's the story of Ted Williams and his 400 season. And I hope you enjoyed that story. And I will be back reading more. Have a good night.